Okay. Welcome guys. Today we will be discussing about how to start with SPFX quick development. So here today I will be explaining about how to set up a small web part. So first I will go with a few small fields like text field, other choice field, other things, and rest of the fields also I will try to cover if I get time, or else we will see in the next session. So let me go ahead with the contents which we are going to use in this session. Okay, so these are the contents we are going to discuss today. So client-side scripting from there to, and we will be ending up with one small web part for the expense reimbursement request form, and also we can able to see the all of the expenses which is made by the expenses request which is made by the current user. So first we need to understand what is client-side scripting. So as you all are aware that, so client-side scripting is nothing but it is an scripting, it's a scripting technique where we will be using any programming language. It can be anything like VB script, JS script or JavaScript, anything. Okay, using that, how we can control the things. So we are starting with the client-side scripting. Just we need to understand. So before going to the SPFX, actually we need to have knowledge on all these things. First you need to understand one thing. SPFX is not anything newly introduced here. SPFX is just a pattern or framework, okay, so where it is built based on the different components which we are already using in the industry. Okay, so for that we need to have knowledge on a few components. So starting with the client-side scripting, so as you are all aware that there are different, like VB script is there. Even VB script also can be used for client-side scripting. But JavaScript is the most famous one in the world when it comes to the client-side scripting. So that we are taking into the consideration here. Over the period of time, so you would have come across these technologies already, some of the things. For example, imagine you are new to the SPFX, so at least you would have used JavaScript or jQuery in your projects. Okay, so I'll be taking through the TypeScript, React, all those things. First, you need to understand what is jQuery. jQuery is an user library. Okay, it's a customized library written in JS. So jQuery or TypeScript or any framework which you see in the internet, JS library, will ultimately compile into the JavaScript. Okay, so even though we have hundreds of libraries like TypeScript, React, Angular, Vue, you can see here a lot of things will be there. Like if you see in the internet, right, so a lot of JavaScript libraries will be there, because all will be, when it comes to the browser, all will be compiled into the JavaScript. So first I am taking jQuery as the reference. Why jQuery as reference means, if you understand the jQuery, then you can understand the React, Angular, all those things very easily. What is the advantage of jQuery means, jQuery have pre-developed some of the functionalities already before ES5. Actually, in JavaScript we have standards. Year by year JavaScript will be releasing the versions. So before ES5 itself, okay, jQuery have given a lot of feasibilities which can be achieved in the JavaScript itself, like for each, so which we are using recently in JavaScript, for each, map, filter. So these all those things already there in the jQuery even before the ES5. These all features came from ES5 in 2015. Even before that itself, jQuery come up with those all features. Okay, but later on the jQuery preference is reduced because JavaScript itself came up with those features. Okay, so jQuery is one of the easiest I can say like library based on the JavaScript, which will provide you the facility to write your code. So where we will use jQuery, tell me, generally for getting the data from server using Ajax. Okay, for that we have also Windows fetch. Windows fetch is there in JavaScript itself. You can do fetch. Okay, but why still Ajax is there, which we are using jQuery means it is having some simplicity, or it can be compatibility, I can say anything. So these all libraries are for developer flexibility. You need to understand one thing. If even though can't you develop a app in the, or a web application in the plain JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript? Yes, you can do. But still, why all these things came into the picture? It will make the development faster. Okay, so having that said, So we are moving on to the other things apart from jQuery. So jQuery we are using for getting the data, reading the data, iterating the